Hello, my name is David Breakage, and I'm the Director of Conservation Programs for the Great Lakes Atlantic region. First of all, let me say thank you for being a Ducks Unlimited volunteer. Your help with Ducks Unlimited, raising funds for our conservation initiatives throughout the continent, is critical for us to achieve the habitat conservation mission of Ducks Unlimited and our goal of filling the skies with waterfowl today, tomorrow, and forever. Waterfowl, as we all know, are migratory in nature, and they travel up and down the flyways and rely on good habitat throughout their range. Ducks Unlimited is able to provide those habitats because of the support from folks like you, both in terms of raising funds and also helping us with policy initiatives throughout North America. On this video, you're learning about the conservation initiative in your area. And I just want to make it clear that our ability to continue delivering habitat in your area is completely dependent on our success raising funds for these conservation initiatives. You have a vital role to play in that, and I want to thank you for your efforts. Thank you for caring, thank you for volunteering for Ducks Unlimited, and thank you for your support.
Hello everyone, I hope all of you are doing well. I am Mark Fleispoller and I am the Ducks Unlimited Manager of Conservation Programs for Iowa, Kentucky, and Missouri. First of all, I want to extend a sincere thank you to each of you for all you do for DU, waterfowl, and wetland conservation. With that in mind, please never forget that all of you are the backbone of DU, and without you, our conservation programs don't move forward. Thanks guys and gals, all of you are much appreciated. In Kentucky, we are presently working with Ballard County Wildlife Management Area staff on installation of a new deep well that will allow for much better water distribution and moist soil plant management, targeting the Lower Beaver Dam Refuge Pool and Lower Hill Ridge Hunt Unit located on Ballard County WMA. In October of 2013, we were partnering with the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources while submitting a small NACA grant targeting the acquisition of a 256-acre wetland inholding on Boatwright Wildlife Management Area. We were recently notified the grant was successful, so we will be working with KDFWR to finalize this land acquisition in the coming months. We recently participated in a conceptual planning meeting at Sloughs Wildlife Management Area and spent a good deal of time discussing and touring potential projects at Sloughs. We agreed to begin our efforts targeting the Crenshaw unit first and then go from there. DU has completed the survey work needed for Crenshaw, and once we have developed a topographical map, we will be able to develop a conceptual plan along with construction cost estimates for Crenshaw. As we are working to secure the needed funds for Crenshaw, we will also begin gathering survey data targeting additional units on Sloughs WMA. In Iowa, DU engineering staff recently put the finishing touches on the new Runnels wetland unit located on the Red Rock Wildlife Management Area, an area that typically holds 70 to 90,000 ducks during peak migration. This project will provide additional foraging habitat for these birds as well as increased waterfowling opportunity. DU and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service recently finalized the grant agreement for the third phase of the Upper Iowa Prairie Pothole NACA project in northern Iowa. This grant will enable us to help acquire 740 acres of wetlands and associated uplands to be added to existing public wildlife areas, and will allow DU to start construction on the Marble Holdus Lakes and Ristomeyer WPA projects. The Living Lakes partnership with Iowa DNR continues to show results in 2014 as restoration designs are completed for Rice and Elm Lakes in northern Iowa. Rice Lake is scheduled for construction in late 2014, and we are currently exploring funding options for Elm Lake. In recent months, we have also identified several new projects, particularly in southeast and western Iowa, that we hope to secure funding for in the near future. In Missouri, we continue seeing significant interest in DU's conservation easement program in the confluence region of the state, and we anticipate closing on 2 new easements in the coming months. We currently have 3 ongoing NACA projects we will be working on this year, and they include large-scale construction projects at Clarence Cannon, Mingo, and Swan Lake National Wildlife Refuges. We will also continue our conceptual planning efforts targeting Shell Osage Conservation Area, the last of our 5 Golden Anniversary wetland projects. And please don't forget, we have a wetland dedication scheduled for October 11th, 2014 at Duck Creek Conservation Area. I hope to see many of you there.
Hi, I'm Eric Skank. I'm the Manager of Conservation Programs for Ducks Unlimited in Illinois and Indiana. I want to update you a little bit about what DU's doing under the Big Rivers Initiative and the Great Lakes Initiative in those two states. The Big Rivers Initiative is about protecting and restoring migration habitat that's important to waterfowl in the Mississippi Flyway. A lot of that habitat happens to be in conjunction with our major river corridors. So we have projects along those river corridors in places like the Illinois River, where we have 3 projects, Chillicothe Bottoms, Stewart Lake, and Jenkins Marsh, that are acquiring lands and restoring lands for waterfowl. We have a couple of major projects in southern Illinois and southwestern Indiana. The southern Illinois project is on the Shawnee National Forest at Oakwood Bottoms, and the southwestern Indiana project is at the Patoka National Wildlife Refuge. In both of those sites, we have $1 million NACA grants that we're using to help meet our conservation objectives under the Big Rivers Initiative. In the Great Lakes Initiative, we have a project up in northeastern Indiana in an 11-county area that's helping to restore breeding habitat for waterfowl there by restoring prairies and wetlands that are used by local nesting ducks. So I hope you'll learn more about the Big Rivers Initiative and about the Great Lakes Initiative so that you can share that with the volunteers and members in your area.
Hi, my name is John Calusi, Director of Conservation Planning for Ducks Unlimited's Great Lakes Atlantic Regional Office. You know, this time of year, waterfowl enthusiasts are eagerly awaiting the results of the waterfowl breeding population survey that takes place in May. This survey has been around since 1955 and is the most comprehensive survey of breeding waterfowl in the world. And this survey gives us some idea of what we might expect to see in the marsh this coming fall. You know, by all accounts, this last winter was a very good one for waterfowl across breeding areas. We had really good snowpack as well as a good ground freeze, which provided great runoff to fill wetlands for breeding waterfowl. And in fact, the waterfowl biologists conducting the breeding population surveys have reported very good to good breeding conditions and good numbers of waterfowl across many of the primary breeding areas in the prairie pothole region. However, we do have to temper our expectations just a little bit. This past winter was a very difficult one and a long one. Old Man Winter didn't want to let his grip go of many of these breeding areas, and so we had a delayed spring, which equated to delayed arrival for many species of waterfowl on important breeding areas. This can equate to limited renesting opportunities and subsequently have an impact on reproduction and recruitment to the fall flight. So we have to take that into consideration. In addition, we have to also consider that weather and habitat conditions that we see on fall migration staging areas as well as wintering areas will also have an impact on the numbers of waterfowl we see this coming fall. For example, drought and excessive rain and precipitation during key periods during the growing season can also have an impact on food availability locally as well as regionally, which can dictate how many birds we might see this coming fall. So we're going to have to keep an eye on the precipitation between patterns between now and fall to get a good handle on habitat conditions as birds start to move south towards wintering areas. And as usual, weather patterns will play a huge role in determining what we might see in the marsh this coming fall and winter. So despite early indications of another very, very good year for breeding waterfowl, we'll need to just keep our eyes and ears tuned to what Mother Nature may have in store for us coming up. And we'll look forward to a bountiful fall in the marsh.
Hi, I'm Doug Warby, Director of Conservation Programs for Ducks Unlimited Great Lakes Atlantic Region. I'm here to thank you all for the hard work you're doing out there on the local level, raising dollars for the ducks. As you could see from the clips earlier, DU and our biologists and engineers across the region are working hard to deliver quality projects on the landscape, projects that have important benefits to waterfowl and other species of wildlife, and hopefully provide you a place to go out and spend some time this fall. Also, as John showed you, continental numbers of ducks and other waterfowl are in pretty good shape across North America, thanks in part to the work that DU is doing not just here in the U.S., but also on the Canadian prairies and down in Mexico on the wintering grounds. So thanks to all of you for the hard work that you're doing. Keep up the good work. The local fundraising initiatives are an important part of how we deliver conservation, not just locally, but across all of North America. And going out and raising major donor pledges and gifts through those initiatives are critical to continuing to do good work here. Also, the money that you raise at your local grassroots events is critical to our conservation mission. Thanks to all of you for working hard on those events and raising those dollars that keep the machine churning. Thanks again for all you're doing out there. It's important to our conservation work, and I look forward to seeing you all out in the field somewhere this fall.